Hey, Topaz.
Hi.
Yes.
Hey,
Hello.
Hey. Hello, hello. Good to see you.
Pat, you see they're all coming in now? Look at
that's
Pat.
great.
Pat is all smiling. Hey, Trudy.
Judy's in.
So for now, we're going to start getting real small because
Right.
who help him, Patricia? What did I do? Oh.
Hi, Patrice. Hi,
Hey,
everyone.
what's up?
Hi, Trudy.
Wow. How great is this? Let me put it on gallery
We got a
view.
7 o'clock.
we got a mysterious Doc Daisley here.
Jimmy, 7 o'clock your time is 12 o'clock in the night in London. So let me say that it's difficult for him to hook up at that time. I spoke to him this morning.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if we could, just to accommodate him at least once.
Mr. Clark, how
He
are
said you have a
you?
lot of
Hello,
pictures.
good, good, good.
Where are you? Where in the world are you?
I'm still in Jamaica. I've just come back from the Blue Mountains. I was up at Newcastle, which is the army base, running a workshop. So I've just come back down, and I'm leaving for Barbados tomorrow morning. So
Wow.
Okay, now I'm jealous because I'm
No,
supposed
well,
to
you
be
got to
there.
be there. When is the funeral?
I don't know. I think it's the 12th or the 15th. I'm
Tell
just
me the 15th. You got
coming through
conflict.
the door and turned on my computer. So I'm literally coming through the door.
Okay.
Right, so I was up in some Blue Mountain weather for the Jamaicans in the crowd.
Did you bring on some coffee?
If I had some coffee, certainly
Did
I
you
had
bring
some
on
coffee.
coffee or other stuff?
I didn't bring no anything. I was a little busy.
Foto primo, ¿cómo está?
Yeah, bien, bien. Yo habla con tu amiga 5 minutos.
Hoy,
Mira, 5 minutos. A la puerta, la celular, Sheila. ¿Cómo está?
Sheila, sí.
Sheila's been
Yo le
doing a good
hablo
job on
después.
him.
Sí,
Le hablo después.
sí,
Now go help your dad.
Ya yo le digo prima, sí, para que no se sienta mal.
sí.
Yo le digo que es mi prima. That's Sheila.
Sheila. We're all family, you know. It's going to work out that we're all going to be family.
My father says she's not related to you, but anyhow, since my husband is a Clark, and
You guys soon find out that your husband related to Sheila. We all related.
One big happy family.
yes, but I call her cuz now,
Yes,
and that makes her very happy.
of course.
Bert is calling her cuz, so that's good
Yes.
because she has claimed you from the beginning. So
Yes, she did claim me from the first time I arrived in Panama. So
yes, so she's family, and she's so happy now that we are
You still
related.
trying to fix it, James?
Yeah,
Leave it. We'll do it later.
yes.
I was just taking a look at it.
You can introduce Patricia because she hasn't been here before.
Okay, great. So let's see, how many people do we have online now? We have 12 so far. So Patricia, where are you? There we go,
Right below you.
right in the middle.
Yes, yes.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, dear.
Okay, I'm Patrice Daisley by birth. I am Vincentian, but living in Atlanta. We are from the branch descended from Hubert E.A. when he left Barbados. Hubert E.A. was the grandson of Richard, and when he left Barbados, he came to St. Vincent and he started that line of the family tree. And so he's my great-grandfather. And I'm so happy to meet all these relatives. The only person here that I knew of before was Trudy. And we actually used to, even though we were in St. Vincent, we would go Barbados. We were pretty close to the hunts, like the Bajan hunts, Aunt Lucina, Aunt Pearl, and that crew.
Randy.
So
Yeah.
he is from that branch, so we knew of them at least, but all of the rest of you, I am delighted to make your acquaintance. And then Doc Daisley, Doc is my father. I think I'm gonna go down, we live together, so I think I'm gonna go there.
Go
and
help him, please.
share my screen with him because I think he's having some little technical problems. So I'll go down there if you see me disappear, but then we'll both be back. on
Okay.
the screen, Okay.
Oh,
But-
good. I finally get to see him after such a long time.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, he didn't change, he's even still wearing the same clothes he used to wear 50 years ago. So yeah, oh, there he is. Oh,
There
got
it
you.
is.
Hi.
Yes.
So Doc, you want to introduce yourself?
Well, they call me Doc. I am Winston Irville Daisley, Patricia's dad. Okay, St. Vincent,
All right.
that branch of Daisley's.
Very good.
Oh,
Good
St.
to see
Vincent.
everybody.
so Winston, you lived in New Montrose? Was that
New
you?
Montrose,
And I
exactly.
say, Patrice says you only know one branch of the family. And I'm sure I was at your house more than once.
That's
This
right.
is Lloyd Clarkson.
Ah, good to see you.
I used to spend more time with Lenny and John
Right,
over in Stubbs, but I'm sure I was in your house more than once.
that's right. Mhm.
And also, we had a cousin live down by Bishop's, by the school.
Uh-huh.
Old lady I used to go by for quite often. Her name
Okay.
is Christy.
And the name was?
I can't remember her name now, but it'll come back to
Okay.
me. She used to live at the bottom where the gas station is, where you turn out by the high school.
Okay. Mhm.
Close to where Cyrus had the tennis court, the squash courts.
The squash court. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Oh, well, good to see you again.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, the little kids are shaking at you guys.
Yeah. Hi.
Yes, yes.
We have one raised hand. And I'm not sure because I don't see a name next to the
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm Julian Beckford.
Hey Julian.
You're
You
Oh,
missed the
I'm
iPhone.
having,
Good to see
I'm
you.
Happy
having
belated
difficulty.
birthday again.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. I'm having difficulty with my phone. I saw my
Technology, yeah?
a while ago, and I'm still pushing buttons, so we'll see what happens.
Right.
Okay, well, we hear you and we see you. And
Oh, you see me?
I see, yeah,
Oh, very good.
yes. And then do we have any more hands raised? Okay, I'm gonna lower you, Julius.
Okay.
And I think we're okay. Now, before we move on, we have Wayne on the phone or on the video here that I've been looking to get some feedback on his. He had a story that he wanted to tell. I'm just wondering if you still want to go ahead and do that. Take yourself off mute.
You're mute.
You're on mute.
Brother Technology, you don't know what you're doing? It's not working. You're
Yeah,
not mute.
You're still
Press
on.
the space button, the space bar, and see if it press it. Keep it down and see if it give you a break.
Did you hear that? Space bar? There's no way that I can do it.
Maybe it's good. We'll keep him muted. Everybody's muted.
See down in your lower left-hand corner, the mute. There you go.
Maybe, maybe his microphone's not up.
He's
You got-
working
Yeah,
now.
he needs to raise his
Good work.
volume.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. I had an external microphone that I forgot to turn on, but then when I turned it on, it competed with the internal one, and the internal one that gives that crackly sound. So I'm not sure which one is ruling right now. If I sound crackly, then it's still the internal microphone.
No, it's loud and clear.
Oh, that's good for a change. So I guess I don't know how I fit into the Daisley clan, but I certainly have a lot of
Does fit in.
agent cousins. I mean, I know it's on my paternal side. I know that, and so my paternal side, my paternal grandfather is a butcher. I mean, his name is Butcher. Sorry, he's not a butcher. and then my paternal grandmother is a Jordan, and she was born in Barbados. He was allegedly born in Guyana, but then moved to Barbados, and then they married in New York. But I think maybe what Jimmy was talking about was the singer that ran across, the Bajan singer. Oh, she was Bajan born, Zita Messiah, and she has a Facebook page, and it seems like she has performed with a lot of. She lives in the UK, and I think she's been away from Barbados since childhood, but she's trying to find her roots. She's on Ancestry, and I found, and this may or may not be anything, but I found another relative whose name is Marcel, and they have a Facebook site called the Marcel Clan. It says, for the most part, it's Marcelle, and I think Ari noticed on her Facebook page that she either knows or is related to what, Conrad Daisley?
No, she has Conrad on her friends list.
Yes, I mean, so she could either be a friend or a friend and relative, or a friend only, or
Ooh, Henry's in the house.
So, Wayne, if you can, when you get a chance through this session, put a link in the chat to that musician's name.
Oh yes, I
sure
sure will.
Or just add the musician's name. We got a couple of musicians online here that one for sure. Right. Lance is a.
Lance, he's in the corner raising his hand.
Will do.
So yeah, that'd be great. I'm sure.
Okay. Will do.
Okay, thank you. Did anybody else want to share any family history or anything relative to the Daisley clan, or not relative?
I have something, Jimmy.
Okay.
Uncle Julian, are you there?
Yes, I am. Is this Lance?
Yes, sir.
Nice to hear your voice, Sir Lancelot.
Thank you. It's good to see you and hear your voice as well.
Yeah, I can't see me or anyone right now. I'm still fiddling around with my cell phone trying to get it together, but it's a pleasure to hear you. I can hear everyone.
So you might be able to speak much better into this because you're so much more well-versed in the family tree. I have heard over the years, and this is related to my grandfather, so this would be Vincent Beckford, which is Uncle Julian's father, that Beckford was not our given family last name.
Sure.
So do you know the story about where that came from and how that came to be?
He told me.
What happened?
My full understanding that the Beckford line was dying out in our family, or something of that sort, and so basically, his ancestors took on that name. But it doesn't make sense to me because I've met Beckfords all over the world, even another Julian Beckford. I met a Beckford in Port Limon, Costa Rica, who I didn't even know was anyway, I've met Beckfords, and then it's a very common Jamaican name. But nonetheless, I didn't correctly spell his name, but I think the name that we were supposedly had was Sewell. But I don't know how to spell that. I don't remember the exact sequence of events, but somehow I'm led to believe what you just said, and I don't remember exactly how it took place. But it's a fascinating story, and I wish I had better memory on that, and I wish I had written it down someplace that I could be more helpful to you. But certainly we can look into it. There are, your father may or may not recall the event. The last time I spoke with him, his memory seemed to be amazingly well for his condition. So I don't know about that, but it's a fascinating story. And we have a lot of information now, thanks to Ari Lawrence. We have a lot more information about the Maynard connection to the Daisley. Ari Lawrence has done amazing work in this regard. And all I can
Very
say
good job.
I wish we had someone like that on the Beckford side. I frankly feel it's a challenge now that since Ari has done so much about the Maynard side, I feel that we Beckfords need to kind of get our act together and check it out.
Yes.
But certainly, we do know a lot about the Maynards.
Yes.
A whole lot. And of course, since the Maynards, we know also about the Daisleys. And that's amazing story. Amazing.
We don't know Maynard, you know about the Daisleys.
Yes, we know about the Daisleys because of Ari Lawrence making the connection through the Maynard and the Daisley. The Maynard relationship to the Daisley, or the Maynard Daisleys, I would prefer to call it. Yeah.
So
thank you, Uncle Julia.
Yeah, that was great.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I want to show you, since we're talking about stuff that Ari's doing, I'm going to show you real quick something that she's been working on. I'm going to share my screen. And this is something that can help us.
Stickers around?
I think that'll do it.
I can't find any of them.
Can you guys see this?
Any in that area?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is a contact list that she's been putting together based on information that she's collected from you guys, and we still have to get more stuff. But she's gone in and put in everybody's name down here. She's got 62 names or so. But then she's gone in and made the connection, the first two ancestors at least, the first ancestor being Richard's kids, and then those kids.
Thank you.
So so you know, this will.
Where's your water? Your water's out there.
Also, to get yourself started, if you need to do a little bit more digging, but this is something she's working on, and looks like we need to get some phone numbers and some birth dates. So
Okay.
yeah, so I mean, I asked you guys to put it in the chat, and I do have some numbers. There was a time when I asked you to put it in the chat. I don't think I was recording, and so I wasn't able to capture those to pass on to Ari. So I would like for you guys to do that one more time now that I am recording, and then I should be able to go in and get those out of the chat once we're done, because I closed the last time, and then I lost the numbers. All right, so that's something that she's working on, and you know, it'll definitely help out when we start talking about planning a reunion or any other type of event outside of what we're doing here. So thank you, Eric, for that.
That's wonderful.
Okay. Back to the social. So anybody have anything exciting to talk about for this week?
Nobody has anything to say.
Family, can anybody hear me?
Yes, Henry.
Yeah. Hi guys, how you all doing?
Good.
Yeah, one thing that my sister Yvonne, who's also there on the other side, she sent me this past week, a number of years ago. I guess I've always been interested in my family, the heritage, the Daisleys and everything. And at one time I actually sent for a publication. It was from a company. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, it's backwards.
You know,
it's the World Book of Daisleys. And it was a company that they put out some information. It wasn't that well put together. I don't think it was more of a general thing. But in the back, they did have a number of contact informations, you know, with names and phone numbers. That was mine right there. And again, it's backwards, so I apologize.
No, it's actually right. It's not backwards.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
What's that?
It's not backwards.
It's not backwards?
Nope. Perfect.
No, that's fine.
You can see it?
Yeah.
For me, I see it
Right.
backwards.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Because you're looking at it.
But for us, it's perfect. Yeah, it's right.
Oh, for you guys, it's perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
as you see, like that was my old address, and it has some information, and it's kind of more geared, I think, towards a European type of background. in genealogy, but still, it is something very interesting. My hope is to be able to scan it and share it with the rest of the family, because while it doesn't have a lot of specific stuff, it doesn't even mention Barbados. It's something to look at. They do give some tips as far as, you know, how to go and research your background. So I don't know, Ari, you might be interested in that part, but it is something interesting, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with my family.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
It's just, it's a
And
lot
I
of
am kind of,
pages, so it's gonna take a minute.
Jimmy,
Yes.
I am kind of interested in how many of you have ever heard of any relatives of yours traveling to Panama either for construction of the railroad or for the canal? Relatives that have probably came over to Panama and you never heard about them again. Have you ever heard of any of
I know that's what my folks did. My mother's father and her grandfather came over to work on the canal. She also has step sisters whose parents had worked on the canal. They're Seville. Their last name is Seville.
Their last name is Seville?
Yeah, my mom is a Daisley. Her father was George and her grandfather was Patrick, and they came from Albert. But you know, her father also had or remarried, and so you know, she's got stepsisters. But yeah,
okay, so Seville is not part of us.
No.
Sevilles that are in Panama.
Yeah, but that's how my mother met my father, because
your mother's side.
He was stationed in the army. He's American, but he was stationed at the canal. And so because her parents lived and worked in that area, that's how she met him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's definitely why they came over from Barbados, you know, to work on the canal.
Okay, because a lot of Barbadians and Jamaicans were part of the construction, and a lot of people died there too. A lot of our people died.
Yeah, I have an aunt who tells me that all the time. She's on the Seville side, Panama. But every time I go there, you know, she doesn't hesitate to say how many Panamanians lost their life, you know, working on that. And even when you go there, you can see they have a nice film that they show you as part of the tourist attraction on the construction of the canal, and it really puts a lot of detail, and they have lots of historic film footage of, you know, what was going on there. So it was very, very interesting.
Yeah, in my family, we always knew my grandmother was born in Panama, and we knew that her family was Panamanian. Her parents were from Barbados, and they went to work in Panama, and she was born in Panama. But we had no idea that we had family on my grandfather's side, which is the Daisley side, that was in Panama. When I told my cousins, they were shocked.
Nice.
And my grandmother was born in Cologne.
Yeah, my mother was born in
You have to give me the name of your mother. And she has any relatives still in Panama? You don't know.
I don't think they have any. I don't think she has any family left in Panama. I think they all came back to Barbados. Her mother's name was Bertina Brewster. I'm still trying. Her father's name was Joshua Devonish.
Bertina Brewster.
Okay,
but they
all
went back to
information
Barbados
in the chat, because they are Brewsters. I know Brewsters. I have some.
Yeah.
And that's your grandmother that was born in Cologne?
Yes.
Bertina?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pass that on to my mom, see if she has any recollection.
Yeah, I found a Bertina Brewster looking through family search, but it's not my grandmother. It's not my great grandmother. So I'm still trying to find my great grandmother.
Yeah, Cologne actually is a very dangerous place right now. I have a.
Yeah, but Cologne was wonderful once upon a time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have no doubt.
Great.
But I went to visit because I wanted to see where my mother was, where she was
Mm-hmm.
born, and I have a cousin who is a police officer there, and in Panama, and so he had to escort me along with several other police officers, just so that I could go into the area and you know, take pictures and kind of look and see. And they were very nervous at that time, and you know, these other police officers telling my cousin, "Hey, tell your cousin to hurry up." So I took my pictures and then they, you know, we got in the car and then they showed us more around Cologne, and it was very, very interesting, but a very politically charged area, and right now pretty dangerous because of corrupt politics. So you know, folks just don't have a lot of hope there, and you know, jobs and things like that. So no tourism outside of the port where the cruise ship comes in. They have built that out very well, but they have not done anything for the people of Cologne, and they're very upset about So, Lance, let's hear about some of your professional drumming that you've done there in California.
Yes. So I just put up a link in the chat, and I'll post it to the webpage on Facebook, the group page. But I play with a band named the Michael Hagens Band. Michael Hagens is from Southern California, and he's a bass player. And we play smooth jazz, funk, R&B, all original music. And tomorrow night via Zoom, there will be a concert that's going to be shown that we played about 2 weeks ago. And it's live music, but then there's interviews in between. So you get to hear about his background and our background. But yeah, I'm a professional drummer in Southern California.
Cool.
And I'm a band director at Ontario Christian Schools, which is in the city of Ontario, California.
Right.
You know, last time we talked about Ontario, Canada, and
Right.
Ontario, California, but it's the
There's a raceway
Ontario.
back there.
Yes, yeah, the is it AutoZone Speedway?
Yeah.
You got a speedway in California?
Yes, we do. We do.
A-U-T-O.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
A-U-T-O.
Oh, Ida, not auto. Okay.
Yeah, auto. So yeah, I'm a band director. I teach 5th grade through high school band. So I see about 200 students a year as a conductor and also as just a mentor to young Christian boys and girls, which is awesome. But I play for my church as well. Yeah.
I have to hook you up with my brother Michael, who used to be the deputy principal at Duke Ellington School for the Performing Arts.
Oh yes, I know about them. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So Michael is your cousin, and he.
Go past this.
Say again.
Sorry.
So I'll have to make sure I hook you up because he's a professional organist and stuff, and an educator. So I'll hook you up.
That sounds great. Yes, I know a lot about that institution.
Yeah, he lives in Annapolis, but he works in Washington, D.C. He's the master scheduler for education for the District of Columbia. So I'll hook you up.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And he lives in a palatial estate.
I see your hand raised.
Arlene, you want to say something? Go, Arlene.
Yeah, on behalf of Otto, because he doesn't say much.
I don't say much.
I wanted to make a suggestion.
Okay.
Since this Zoom meeting is somewhat of a family reunion, or until you have the actual physical reunion, might you want to consider putting a booklet together where each member that's participating would write a bio? Okay, given your name, your location, your family connection, what you have done and accomplished, you know, your children, whatever. And that would be a start, so that when you actually have the actual reunion, you would have a booklet that you can share.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That is a good idea.
There's a couple of ways that we can do that. We can have folks type up something and send it in to a central.
Let's go to Tuesday morning.
Or I'm sorry. Or we can put a link somewhere and have you guys go in and fill in that link. You know, maybe if this is however you guys want to do it, we could put in like a template so that you guys are, you know, you have a pretty good idea of what it is you need to fill in.
I think the template sounds like a great idea. I think in the meantime, if people have LinkedIn profiles, just send a LinkedIn profile as well, which would be
the LinkedIn profiles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the template is a good idea. So we do have a template for the family, but I think in the short term, people who have LinkedIn profiles could send the LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, that's great. So if you have a LinkedIn profile, I don't know if it's too soon to ask you to put it in this chat, but you can certainly send it to Ari, and then we can update that link or the contact list with that link, Ari.
I think you should do it the easiest way. I don't know if Ari has time for all of that too. Ari, where's your time?
My time is gonna be money soon. Everybody's books already.
Yeah, and it just lets you know, she has a little bit of help in the background.
It's not a big problem.
Yeah, we also support her where we can, so it's not going to be all her just doing that.
I volunteered a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arnie has another question.
No, I said, since it's my idea, I said I volunteer to help.
Oh, great.
You don't got no choice, sister.
Okay, so I'll add her as administrator or an editor for that spreadsheet.
Okay,
and then Topaz, we'll get to you in a second.
Okay.
Something?
Can I answer Topaz's question? I've been trying to answer it. And Otto, remember your friend Artie, the guy
from Virginia, from
Somerset.
Yeah.
Topaz was just asking about his grandfather. It's not this particular Spooner was also married to a Daisley.
Right.
It's a different Spooner. It's not down your line of your grandfather. It's a different Spooner married to a different Daisley.
So they're not related.
They're all connected.
So it's all connected. Okay.
Yeah, he's like he was married to like there were like two cousins married to two guys named Daisley. I don't know if the Daisleys are related or not, but that's how it was.
Artie's from St.
And Artie actually knows his grandson.
Yeah, Artie's from St. Vincent.
Hmm?
Artie is from St. Vincent.
That doesn't matter how he got there.
Hold on.
All the Daisleys in St. Vincent are family.
And he also went to teach the kids at school.
But no, this
Okay.
but this will be his grandfather.
And his mother was a Spooner. That's all I know.
Right, that would be his grandfather.
Okay. Go ahead, Topaz.
Oh, no, that was the question because I wanted to try and find out about Hezekiah Spooner because my grandfather's name was Spooner, and I was just wondering if there was a connection.
There's a connection, but they're not like, I don't know if they're related as Spooners, but they're related as Daisley.
And Ari, I have one more question because I was going through the book that you provided, and Isabella, and is there Isabella and an Isabel? Because the names, it's like Bella and Bella Ann, and
they're all the same person. Trust me.
So Isabella, Isabel, Bella Ann are all the same person?
Same person.
Same person.
Yes.
But wasn't the daughter's name Isabel also?
Your great grandmother's name was Isabel as well. But
okay, that's why I'm confused. Okay.
Isabel too.
Okay, so it's two. I got it.
The one that has the because Isabella was called Belland, and then all the records and things, like, you know, when somebody else go to think it was a nickname. They didn't know her real name. So whoever went to register, like the birth for one of her child, Bella, they gave different names. So when the records come up, that's all the names that was on the records.
Okay, thank you. Cool. Got it.
Did somebody mention the surname Brewster? I was just typing that in the messages. Because there's, I have an Anthony Brewster that shares about almost 100 centimorgans with me, and he's related to my half brother and my half sister. All, you know, so we're all, so obviously all coming from the Butcher Jordan, the Caribbean route. So did somebody mention Brewster?
Yeah, that was Trudy.
Yeah, that was me. So my grandmother is not on the Daisley side of the family, but I did see a link. I did see a message recently on a board where they talk about the Brewsters marrying into the Daisley. So I think that my grandfather and at some point my grandmother's family and my grandfather's family are connected again, but I haven't had time to dig into that yet.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, so this person, I've reached out on ancestry.com, but I'm not sure if he doesn't log in often, but
okay,
but definitely a strong relative in terms
yeah,
of.
I think there may have been two sets of Brewsters families out of Panama, because the Brewsters that I'm finding, when I talk to my dad and some of my aunts and uncles, there's the people that I'm finding, they're saying they're not related, because one of them actually had a picture of Bertina Brewster, but they said she's a dark-skinned lady, and they said my grandmother was fair. My great grandmother was fair. Sorry, so I know it's not her.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's a lot. I still got a lot of digging to do.
Right. And he's also related to the Messiah. I'm gonna look at common matches.
So does anyone else want to share? Edison?
Yes, I'm here.
How about you? Do you have something that you'd like to share?
Not at this time, except that I'm looking forward to the physical reunion.
Okay.
If it's in Barbados, of course.
Yes, like the rest of us, I'm sure.
Nobody wants to come to the U.S.
Right.
All this COVID going around.
Not just the COVID.
Yeah, we'll be lucky if they don't ban us in Barbados.
Right.
I'm supposed to be in Barbados this week. My trip got canceled.
Oh wow!
Don't worry, y'all won't get banned in Barbados. Don't worry.
We'll go on your shirt tail, David.
I got my citizenship. I'm good.
Kevin, how about you?
We got a Jerome Butler there.
To share anything? Gosh, what would you guys want to know?
Anything. What's your occupation and what kind of hobbies are you into at this point? We're just kind of socializing. This is a social.
There's a lot. Gosh, where do I start? Occupation, I teach nurses and physicians their advanced skills for the ER. That's what I do on a day-to-day basis with the company I own. And so with COVID and all, I'm actually the one that's showing them how to deal with the airway and how to deal with those type of patients, as well as any cardiac emergencies or stroke emergencies they're up against. Those are my students. And hobbies, avid and strong chess player. Also, Taekwondo is a part of my life. I competed for the U.S. for 3 years in Taekwondo.
Nice.
I've also trained 27 junior athletes to national championships.
Wow.
Gosh, anything else?
You look so quiet sitting back there. You picked all.
Oh no, I'm just enjoying the news. I'm, learning who everybody is. Just with the Daisley side alone, I just didn't realize there was such a vast, big side of the family. So I'm kind of floored, to be honest. I started something similar to this back in I want to say 2006, 7, somewhere in there, where I started a new little newsletter, and it was pretty much amongst the Beckfords and the Reed family. And we kind of communicated that way, and that's how I was able to connect with Grace Clark through that connection. But it got overwhelming, and I was in grad school at the time, so that fell by the wayside. So, but even then, it was quite exciting to see the different family members, and I was actually more impressed with how much education was in the family. How many PhDs, JDs, THDs. That was very enlightening there. And then, so like I said, that fell off, and then I don't know, recently I had a pretty major surgery to help me eat. I wasn't eating for a few months.
Wow.
And my esophagus was not communicating very well with my stomach, so the lower sphincter was too tight.
Wow.
So no food was really getting in. And so just liquids. So, and even that, it wasn't satisfying because it would just sit there, and then eventually through gravity and time, it would eventually get into my stomach. But I never had the feeling that I ate something and the sensation that I had eaten. So I was literally starving to death.
Oh.
Well, thank you.
It was quite quite humbling. It was
Yeah.
quite humbling. And but what the blessing was that the doctor that made the diagnosis, he had done a fellowship with a very strong doctor at the University of California, Irvine, and was able to connect us. So this surgery took place in June, and you have to understand I had lost 44 pounds. The feeling of eating was gone, and it was frightening because I was watching my body deteriorate, as well as all the metabolics with my system. And I had spoken to the physician on June 22nd, and he was booked out until October. So I'm thinking, I'm not going to make it. So when we talked, I was just surprised when he said, well, let me look at my calendar. And he says, how does June 30th sound? I was like, of this year? It's like, yeah, next week. I'm like, make it happen. Yes, I'm there. And so he says, but your schedule is busy. Man, don't worry about my schedule. I will be there.
Wow.
So long story short, we had the surgery, and oh boy.
Praise the Lord, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, praise God.
Thank you for
To
sharing.
be able
that.
to eat and that feeling of fullness is it's beyond a blessing. It's something that you've done all your life. You don't even think about it. In fact, I was having my wife and I, we have fellowship together just about every night, and we were having one of those times, and I told her I was just watching a movie on television, and the actors were eating chips, and they would eat it and just kind of, chew it quickly and throw another one in their mouth. And it was just the way that they were eating it, where they were never once thinking about how it was going down.
Right.
And I explained to her that I will never forget the feeling of all those broths that you made for me to get me through it, how it would go down and it wasn't going into my stomach. And to feel the food like go in now is just, it's empowering. I've changed a lot of things of my eating habits, where, with my classes that I teach, I pretty much have let the students dictate my eating habits because they don't really want to sit for lunch and all that. Now I have lunch 12:30. That's when lunch is, and I'm eating it with gusto. And so as a result, I've enjoyed, a lot of meals with my family, just with myself, and just being able to enjoy this gift that the Lord has given me to put food in my stomach. So I'm excited. not just because of eating, but you know, just I feel like I've just been given another second chance in life. And so I'm glad to be here in more ways than one. More ways than one.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin, for giving us a perspective that we probably would never had we not heard your testimony.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Grace, are you raising your hand, Grace?
Yes, I heard Kevin say that he contacted Grace Clark.
You heard him say what?
You can always speak and let them know you on when she finished.
Kevin, you contacted me.
Right. This is when I had started that newsletter way back in the mid 2000s. Uncle Julian, what did I call it? The Jamaican.
It was something like
name
of it, but it was something like the Jamaican line dance or something like that.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then
We should probably take that up again.
Sorry.
We should probably pick that up again. Let's talk.
Too much work, you know. Can't even.
No. It's something easy. I have an idea. Remember, I'm retired, and when people are retired, some people mind just go, you know.
Right.
All kind of different ideas and projects.
It was fun because, you know, at the time, you know, people were sharing stories and some of them hadn't been in contact with their family members. So it was really kind of a good bridge between
One
the
of the
family
nice things about
members.
the Kevin is that you had pictures, and some of those pictures, actually, I'd love to see them again. We lose track of our pictures, and they're important. They bring back memories and they tie connections and they make it real. So I urge everybody to look through your pictures and regard them as if they're sort of like trophies.
Yeah.
I would like to, yes, I would like to follow up on stories about people that came from the Caribbean, Barbados, and so to either write short stories or that is relating real life experience and do plays in regards to what happened. That is what I like to research. And I've been speaking to a friend of mine that he's into performing arts. And if anybody is interested in that, let's talk about it.
I'm very much interested in that.
Right or anything like that, but I do it.
I'm very much interested in that and would like to have contact with you. This is Julian Beckford.
I know Julian, I know it's you. What you'd like to do?
Well, I would like to basically hear whatever it is that you're doing to memorialize or write about either plays or just historical documentation of the various members of the, in my case, the Caribbean immigrant community to America. I'm actually in the process of writing about the 1960s experience of the Caribbean immigrants to Southern California, with the focus being on the cricket game, the game of cricket, which linked people from various islands, Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, in the Southern California Cricket Association. So I'm actually in the process of doing that right now, looking for photographs, but also once you begin to touch on that, you have to go back and see where did they come from and who are they? And when you do that, you basically need to have pictures instead of just a name. You need to have photographs. So those photographs to me are practical and important. Pictures that I used to have, I don't have anymore and don't know where they are. And nowadays, you know, with electronic devices, we can actually store and save things so that if things get lost as you move from place to place, you can actually refer back to your digital storage to bring them up. And you can share them easily by the camera of your cell phone and then with sending messages to people and friends. So it's time for us to kind of put these things together, because the way I see it, if they're not done now, they'll be lost in a year or two or 10 years. And the time goes by very quickly.
Okay, the type of stories that I'm really interested in is what happened to the people that came from the Caribbean that came to Panama. In Panama, we have a museum and we have a society of the descendants, the Afro descendants. we keep together and we do certain celebrations. This week, we're having a celebration in which we commemorate those that came and the things that happened to them. I don't know if some of you knew that when the people came from the blacks from the Caribbean came and they were building the canal, you know, to open the canal, you had to use a dynamite. Because the malaria was a problem, they were giving quinine. And when you use quinine, one of the side effects of the quinine is that you get deaf. So when it was time to blow up the dynamite and the white man will whistle, some of the black men that were there that put the dynamite in the places did not hear. Wow. So they blow up with the dynamite. Oh my God. Every year, one of the celebrations is the museum, the group goes through the canal. There's a place that they call a Culebra Court that they throw flowers there commemorating the blacks that died there. So there's a lot of things that we need to talk about that some of you might not know, but because of me, my descendants came, my grandfather came and he worked on the canal. He came with his wife. All of my uncles, there's Julian's mother, Delcina is a Panamanian. My father is a Panamanian. Dorothy is a Panamanian. All of the children, every one of them are Panamanians. They migrated after, but they were born here in Panama. And these are the people, these are the things. There are a lot of things that we have to talk about and to research. And we have the information. So it's time we start letting the people know what is our contribution. Because when people hear about the canal, you know that you come and when you visit, you might see a little picture, but you don't know that the canal was built and the blood that built the canal is our blood. And I am a revolutionary type. You know, that's my trend. So we have to know about it, and we have to make sure that it's documented and that the world knows what was done. Okay, that's my feeling.
I'm in complete agreement with you.
Just to let you know that Grace is also a politician, so be very careful what you say about politicians.
So Grace, let me see if I understand what it is you're trying to do. You say you're going to be doing research into the history of your ancestors who...
No, I'm not doing any research. We have the stories already.
Okay.
I would like some short stories so that we can later...
I missed something. Say it again.
Like we had the last time.
Nelsa, quiet your sound. Yes. Okay. What I'd like to do is people to write short stories of real life incident that happened here in Panama. With those stories, we can either reproduce them to sell, real life stories, or we can do plays.
I already volunteered you, Arlene.
So, this is Arlene.
Yeah, that's Arlene. I already volunteered.
You're on the list already. Don't be this. You're on the list. I'm going to call you this week.
I just want to understand what it is that you're asking to be done. People are going to submit these stories?
Yes, these stories. If you have any stories, you can give it. If you don't, I can get the stories.
So you just want to put them...
But y'all are the link. We link up. I want a story that your great-great-grandmother came to the canal or your grandfather came to the canal, and when they came, they lived, and what we don't know, what we fill in between. No?
I see.
And I know that a lot of you all have a lot of creativity. I can do it, but I can't do everything because my mind is going in 501 direction. And at the nights, I have
we're missing the audio.
Can't hear you.
Grace, you muted yourself.
You're muted.
You muted, Grace. Unmute.
I said that I have paper at my bed head at my night table, and I get up in the night, I wake up and I write. And when I finish writing, I go back and sleep. At my stage, I am retired. You know, I don't know if that happens to you, but my mind is going a mile a minute. The body is not doing all that it used to do before, but the mind is functioning very well. So I need your cooperation. And we can do a lot of things. It could be a memoir of a Daisley person that came, and I know a few stories about my grandfather that I could kind of weave it up and fix it up. I know stuff about my aunt Delcina was my buddy, and I can weave it and fix it up too. So, Julian, where you are?
Yes, I'm here and I'm listening to you.
Let's get together, babes.
I'm thinking we need to have some sit down and talk conversations as we go
Yes,
over these things. You sound like a
I can tell you a lot of
information
stories.
for me. Absolutely.
I can do a lot of filling in, and I have a good memory. Okay, I think I have enough time.
So that sounds like a pretty good idea, Grace. I'll certainly have something to add to that. So look, it's approaching 8 o'clock now. Do we want to have some action items for the next meeting? Sounds like Grace has some things going on. Julian has some things going on. Hopefully you guys can get together on some things, and then just reach out to us. We're gonna update. I'll work with Ari to update our the contact list that she's putting together with our information. You know, if and then we're happy to share that with you guys whenever we get it updated. Is there anything else?
Jimmy, I'd like to tell Lance, I need to get in contact with you in regards to the independent bands. Have you ever heard of the independent bands in Panama?
I'm not 100% familiar, but I'm always open for education. So please.
Okay, we need to talk.
Okay.
It's a group of about 100 of them, and they are independent, is young people. Most of them Afro descendants that we need to work with them too.
Excellent.
And this doesn't have, I'm doing much politics now. I'm doing my own thing.
Good.
As I feel like.
David looks like he doesn't believe you.
Like you don't believe what?
That you're not politics.
I'm not doing politics?
Yeah, he doesn't seem like
all of us are politicians.
But
all of us have some trend of thinking.
Okay.
I think that we got so much out of this today. Kevin, again, thank you for that testimony. That was pretty powerful. I have a feeling that if I were to just call on anybody in this group, that we would just learn so much, and it would be so powerful what you guys would share. So don't think that you've been overlooked. We're going to be calling on you guys as we continue on with these social hours.
Wayne, do a
Very
screenshot.
good.
What's that, Ari?
No, I'm telling Wayne to do a screenshot.
Oh, okay. Here we go. I'll do one right now. Give me 1 second. Don't go away. I forgot all about that. Okay, here we go. Capture. Okay, give me about almost just joining the loop. There we go. All right.
Get it, Ari.
Now, I am recording this, and I was thinking about putting it in a like securing it somewhere on a Google Drive where only we would have access to it if you guys wanted to look at it or something. I don't know. That's up to you guys. I don't have to do anything like that. Right now, it's stored on my Mac computer, and at some point in time, I will probably end up deleting it. But that's up to you guys. Sometimes, there's the only reason I recorded these to begin with is sometimes when we start talking about our history is good, I'm not writing anything down, so I might go back and say, okay, how were they related? Something like that. And I figured you guys might want the same kind of stuff, but that's totally up to you. If you think it would be worthwhile, then I can take these recordings and put it in on a Google Drive, only have access to, you know, certain, you know, our email addresses or whatever.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Good idea.
Absolutely excellent.
Okay. All right, then I'll do that. And then I'll send a link, and you know, if you can't access it, then it'll probably say something like request permission to access, and in which case I'll look at the email address and then grant you permission.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I actually have a question because I think Ari posted something with someone playing soccer.
Okay.
So I have a curiosity. I want to know who are the athletes in the group.
So
I
that was my son Joseph that she posted.
Yeah, I want to see who can play them sports. I want
Well,
to see that.
he actually played. That he was playing for Campion College in Jamaica.
Okay.
He's actually supposed to be coming to Howard in DC. Well, he was supposed to be starting on the 22nd of August and play soccer at Howard, but all his first semester classes are online, so he won't be there. I actually represented Barbados in karate. I'm a graduate of the Japan Karate Association instructors course in Tokyo.
Okay.
I'm also the president of the International Karate University in Canada. I teach classes I have clubs all over the world, but I teach in the UK most often. At present, I'm teaching a Zoom class for my club in Colchester, the UK. And like you, I competed for Barbados. I was a Pan-American silver medalist in karate in 1989.
Wow.
Very
I
good.
did not know that.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
Yeah. See, now you know. That's why I said we have some athletes in here, so I can't help but be curious about it.
Yeah,
So.
Kevin, I'll have you know that my dad used to teach Taekwondo when we were younger, and then probably just a year ago, I stopped after about 2 years of Krav Maga. That was starting to kick my butt, so I said, I better stop the Krav Maga. But I did that because I thought it, you know, I've always heard about it, taken Muay Thai, but I've always heard that Krav Maga was pretty intense. So I said, let me spend some time with that, and
it was confirmed.
Yeah.
I need to say that I played basketball in high school. Selection.
All right.
Selección Nacional.
Sí, claro.
Of the Republic. So I played basketball. So you see, David, I'm not only doing politics, I used to do my sports.
Of course, I know.
This is why bios are important.
Yeah.
So Ari, so you know, I actually retired from part of my job on Friday, but I'm not retired. So
Good job.
So
say again?
20 of them. Which one?
From the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award Foundation, I retired on Friday after 32 years and 4 months.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes, definitely.
But I'm not retired.
Congratulations.
Well, you earned that.
So getting back to the bio, we talked about the template. Do we have any volunteers to put a template together?
I would if I knew how.
I'm actually on vacation this week. I have some time.
Okay, Trudy, you want to put together, and I can work with you on that as well. I mean, you know.
Yeah, no problem.
It'll be kind of standard, you know. But then the other thing we talked about was the LinkedIn. So if you have a LinkedIn link, then share that with us as well. If you have it right now, you can put it into the chat since we're recording it. But if you don't, you can email it either to myself or Ari to put into our contact list. Okay, so when do we want to have the next meeting?
On the other week. I think it works well.
So every other week is working?
August 16th.
You know it's coming, so you don't have to plan. It's automatic.
What was the date?
The 16th.
The 16th.
16th. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So then look out for that email. If there
At what time? Because I got on late.
Oh, that's okay, dear. We've been doing it for 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that seems to work okay for everybody. So then,
Thank you.
so I will send out the next invite a few days before.
Wow.
Are you getting the invites in time?
Yes.
I didn't get an email this time.
Who didn't get an email?
He
Yes.
used the first list we had. That was why.
Oh, okay.
You used the first list, not the second list that you had. That's why everybody didn't get an email.
So if I use that list that we have on the contacts list now, will that be pretty good to you?
Yeah, if you use that, everybody's on there.
Okay, I'm going to use that for the next meeting then. That's good.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Jimmy?
Yes, dear.
I put in the chat, can you add my daughter, Devin, to the email? Please.
Okay. Got it.
Thank you.
Do you have Hugh Maynard Reed and Michael Yeshua on the list?
Is that on your list, Ari?
Oh, you was on my list.
Do you have Michael Yeshua on Dora's son?
I don't think so.
Can you add that to the...
Tell them to me and we'll add them on.
Okay.
Not yet.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, any names that we need to have, you can either add it in the chat, or if you don't have it on you, just send it to either my email or Ari's email and we'll get it on there. Okay, guys, so once again, this has been a very, very enlightening and entertaining, and I think that the next time, we'll get even more folks involved in some discussion. So if nobody has anything to say,
I just say next time I'll be talking from Barbados.
All right.
I will be in Jamaica.
Did you let Michelle know that you're going to be there?
Yeah, I think she knows that I'll be in Barbados from tomorrow.
Okay.
But I'm actually on Army duty from tomorrow, so I'll be in Barbados.
Okay, very good.
When are you going to be going to Antigua then?
Well, I was hoping to go on the way to Barbados, but because of the funeral, I've got to actually be on duty on Monday, so I go down early in the morning. So I'll be there. When I leave, I will stop in Antigua on the way back to Jamaica.
Take a lot of pictures.
Take pictures and send, please.
Will do.
Yes, safe travels, David.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have one hand raised here.
Yes.
Go ahead, dear.
Okay. Do we have like any tentative dates or anything that we would think about in terms of the reunion that's going to be in Barbados?
Sometime next year, probably for crop over, if there's a crop over.
Crop over is a very expensive time.
What time is that?
It would have been tomorrow.
Yeah,
The
so
first Monday
it's the first, whatever weekend has a Monday, the first Monday in August, that is the weekend for crop over.
Can I ask a question? Is it better to do it either before or after in terms of costs, and then those that want to, be a part of that
Matter to me.
section?
I can go anytime. I'm not into the crop over scene, so.
Actually, the cost is cheaper. The cost is cheaper crop over than it is because the season for tourism is between the 15th of November to the 15th of April, which is the expensive season. So after the 15th of April to the 14th from the 16th of April to the 14th of November, that's the off-season rates. So the reason we have crop over at that time is because that's when the hotel rates are cheaper. There are a number of events that run at that time to give people cheaper hotel rates. So I think once we know how COVID is going and what's happening in Barbados next year, we'll be able to plan. I think it's a little early to try to plan at this stage dates because we don't know what's going to happen with the health situation. And I just want to make one point for Kevin. Kevin, you train MTs. There are two armies in the world that have WHO accredited hospitals.
Girls, come on, put your pajamas on, please.
There are two armies in the world that have WHO, World Health Organization accredited hospitals. One is Israel and the other is Barbados. So when you come to Barbados, we will use your assistance in training because we have a field hospital which we can deploy that takes 168 doctors, nurses, and technicians that we can deploy on behalf of the WHO or Pan American Health Organization around the world.
Sure. I'm game.
That's great.
That'd be fun. Thank you.
Right, that's good.
That's good information.
Love to hear stories like that and opportunities like that.
Yes, yes.
Connections.
But of course, David, you know we're gonna have to get on the mat though. You know it has to happen.
But certainly, I think you might be a little impressed when you get to Barbados because we were the first people in the Western Hemisphere to build a dojo for karate and judo. I also have a black belt. So we have a karate and a judo club. And also for Krav Maga, of course, I come from a special forces background. So
right.
And also, I used to be in Florianopolis, where the Gracie brothers who developed jiu-jitsu, the Gracie jiu-jitsu, they come from Florianopolis in the state of Santa Catarina in Brazil, and I used to have an office in Santa Catarina. So.
Okay, well, yeah, the Gracie brothers had their school in Carson, which was right down the street from my school in Torrance, in California. So very familiar with that group there. And then when it comes to the Jungle Rangers of the Army at Camp Presidio in San Francisco, I helped train them for 3 years when I was an undergrad at UC Berkeley. So you and I will have a lot of war stories to share. But I'm looking forward to breaking bread with the brethren here at the same time, you know, get on the mat and exercise. So when I say I'm excited, that's putting it lightly. I'm pumped. This is just so motivating to being here.
Very impressed with when you see what Barbados has in terms of facilities. I think most people get a little shocked.
Bring it on, buddy. Bring it. I want to see it all.
I love it.
You
All
guys
right,
want
guys,
to
so-
that little feud you got going
We
there?
do have other family. In fact, Motley, who is not on this, whose mother is 106, he is also a black belt as well. So we do have other family in other styles as well. So
that's great.
And in fact, I must say that Ari, we had a cousin who competed for Barbados, who I didn't even know was my cousin, who was in my own club dojo. And Ari introduced me to her in Toronto when she was competing. And I happened to be the president of the organization.
Wow. Small world.
The security will be well taken care of.
Yeah,
a little bit.
All right. So with that being said, I think we'll end this social and then we'll pick it up again in 2 weeks. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, guys.
God bless everybody.
Love you all.
Bye, Nelsa.
Bye.
Bye-bye, family.
Good night, everybody.
Colleen.
Good night.